Hello, back again for more proofs with Todd. Here we are trying to prove not Q or E. I don't see that, but I know that I have the possibility of getting a not Q and adding or E, or vice versa. I think it is possible to go and get the not Q and add the E, or we could try a constructive dilemma, but I'm going to try going just for the not Q and adding the E. So I'm after this conditional in line 3, because if I had it, I could do a modus tollens to get my not Q. But that means I'm going to need to get an A, then C to do the modus ponens first. And I don't have any such creature, but I think I might be able to make one out of this antecedent here on line 1, oddly enough. First things first, let's get that antecedent. So 1 and 4 allow me to do a modus tollens to get A, then B. 1 and 4, modus tollens. Now notice on 5 I have a not B, so I can get a not A. 5, 6, modus tollens. Okay, now here comes the magic, not A or C from 7 by addition. Now why did I add an or C? Because I'm going to convert 8 into a conditional, A then C from 8 by material implication. And so now I have the antecedent to line 3. So if you look at 3 and 9, you get Q then G. And that's 3, 9, modus ponens. I remember I wanted a not Q, so now I need a G, and I have a G handy in line 2. Let's get it. G from 2, simplification. And now I can do a modus tollens, get not Q, from 10 and 11, modus tollens, and then finally, or E from 12 by addition. Okay, might be other ways to do this problem. That's the first way that occurred to me. Let's move on. Okay, Q. Well, this problem is pretty obvious what we have to start doing. That's the only place where I can get a Q from the antecedent line 3, which means I need the opposite of this consequent, so I need not D and not E. And I'm making a note because that's the same as D or E by De Morgan's. So, do I have either of those? No, but I can probably get a D and make D or E. Here's a D. I need a B and a Z. Got a Z already. There's a B in 1. Just need a not A to get to it. And look what I've got on 4. So first things first, B from 1 and 4, disjunctive syllogism. Okay. Was going to put the B and the Z together, 5 and 6, that's conjunction. And that lets me, if you look at 2 and 7, get a D, 2, 7, modus ponens. Now, that brings us back to this strategy. We're just going to follow it home. We add an or E to our D, that's addition. And we know that we can convert that by De Morgan's to not D and not E from 9 by De Morgan's. That, line 10, is the opposite of the consequent on 3. So we can do a modus tollens and get Q. That was 3 and 10, modus tollens, and we're done. Move on. Okay, B or, well, not B, or G. That's what I got to get. Of course, can get a not B from here, provided I get the opposite of this consequent, which would be not Z and F. And write a mental note. That's the same as not Z or not F by De Morgan's. So I can get to this from 2 by addition, not Z or not F, 2 addition. And then now I'm just going to follow my thoughts back. So I'm going to convert this by De Morgan's to Z, not Z and F, 3 De Morgan's. And now I can do modus tollens with line 1. And what I get is not B from 1 and 4, modus tollens. And now I just add or G from 5 by addition. Simple enough. Let's try another. Okay. T then S. Don't see a T then S. And I don't see a T then blank and a blank then S. So my usual strategies are out, but notice that we have S's and T's together. It's not anything like what we want it to look like, but trust me, let's go after it. Once we get it, we'll be able to convert it into the conditional that we need. So to get the S or the T out of line 1, the only thing we can do is a modus tollens, which means we need a not W and V, which is the same as not W or not V. And I can get to the second one from the not W by addition. Not W or not V from 2 by addition. And now I'm going to apply the De Morgan's. Not W and V, 3 De Morgan's. And now 4 and 1, I can do the modus tollens and get not S or T from 1 and 4 modus tollens. Okay, well, we still don't have T then S. So what to do? Well, this is a negated disjunction, so let's apply De Morgan's and see what happens. We get not S and not T. Okay, that's from 5 by De Morgan's. So just for a moment, I want to think about this T then S. T then S. Let's convert it to an or for a moment. Not T or S. So if we had not T or S, we could get to our T then S, which tells me that I really need this not T from line 6 so I can make the not T or S. So let's move the not T to the left-hand side from 6 by com. Let me skip a line because I got a bunch of junk there. Not T from 7. I should have skipped 2 lines. 7 by simplification. And then I'm going to add or S from 8 by addition. And then I can convert it back to the then from 9 by material implication or just implication. And we're done. Let's push our luck and try another. Prove G. This one looks fairly straightforward. There's a G right here, which is part of this conditional, so I need to get that. To get that, I need the S. Only place I can get an S is from in here, which means I need an A, a not A, and a not B. So I need to get that. Now, how am I going to get that? Well, first things first, let's explode this biconditional A, if and only if B, into one of its equivalents, which is A and B, or not A and not B. That's one material equivalence. Okay. Now, let's simplify 3, and we get not A or not B from 3 simplification. And now let's do De Morgan's on that. We get not A and B from 6 by De Morgan's. Okay, so now notice what we've got on 7 is the opposite of the first disjunct on 5, which means we can do a disjunctive syllogism and get not A and not B. That's 5 and 7 ds. And this, line 8, is exactly what we needed for line 2 to do the modus ponens, and we get not S or T from 2 and 8 modus ponens. Okay, remember we're after G, which means we need an S and an F. Let's tear 9 apart to get to the S. First step, do De Morgan's. Whoa, sorry about that. Becomes S and not T from 9 by De Morgan's. And the S comes from 10 by simplification. So I can put that into 4 and get F then G. That was 4 and 11 modus ponens. Now I need an F. There is an F on line 3. It's in a conjunction, so it's easy to get to. It's on the wrong side, so we have to rotate it over. That comes from line 3 by com. And then we can simplify the F. And now I have an F then G, I have an F, so I